Rogue squad.
Rogue yesterday really looked fun. They looked like when they were playing versus NRG, that Taroko especially found his footing and that he was ascending that mountain faster than I think we've seen him do so for quite a long time. I think Aqua, along with a lot of the new players, has started to unlock the ability of some of the more set-in-their-ways players over in North America. I personally have Rogue here. I really am impressed with them. After yesterday, I think, they managed to fall down into this lower side of our bracket, but not through lack of trying. It's going to be a big one, and I always like when teams can face off against each other for their own destiny.
I believe at minimum, there's 80 points currently sitting between Rogue and their opportunity to get a hold of one of those top 5 spots. This match, winning it gets you an extra 30. Unfortunately, that result could also keep changing because the teams that need to catch up to are still within this tournament. As previously mentioned, must win. Best of 5. Loser of this will be eliminated. Both teams just easing their way into this. Percy getting a lot of time here over in the corner. It's not something you really want to be doing because these are very mechanical players that can set up just like this. Midfield, open to anybody that wants to take it right now, and Stumpy will be waiting to see who goes for those sore positions.
Yeah, it was a good chance there to get a counter-attack goal as well, but you're completely right. If you give space to anyone on this pitch in the air, North America, you need to just shut people down a lot sooner, and you also need to block it away.
Yeah, that's maybe not the sort of goal you want to be handing out over here. Backboard completely open. Oh, Hoxer had a bit of pressure on him, but it was just nobody around to start with.
Yeah, he had time to get up and get in position still.
It's just like the initial positioning was very weird. Either way, that's now a 1-goal deficit that they will find themselves under. XSET, not with the greatest start. Maybe they can make up for it. Good pre-jump save. Keeps it at 1-0.
Yeah, brilliant from Gyro there. Playing ahead of the ball, just predicting where the ball goes. V jumps early. It means he can get in the way and stop anything from being too dangerous on net. Shutting down those angles is vital.
Now we'll look to see whether or not Rogue can start to shut down those infield passes. That's the second one that we've seen. Neither of them intercepted at source, but I expect Rogue to be up there very quickly, and Taroko was definitely up there very quickly this time around. Miss from Aqua. Hoxer put some pressure on.
Oh, that's cheeky. I love that fake. Gyro just slowing it down a touch. Has 0 booster, has to leave that play. All 3 Rogue players on the ball, but it didn't have any negative effects. Aqua can pick up the second for Rogue.
Yeah, nobody cares if you triple commit as long as you score off it. 1 demo or 1 player, set up off the backboard. And Hoxer again, found to be a little bit panicky with the way he's playing. Just saw the demo and instantly tried diving on in. So 2-0 now to Rogue. Perfect start for them. Might be about to get even better. Taroko, not enough boost to make a play. Over to the wall. This is where we expect to see Hoxer shine. Not the best first touch. He does recover it with the second one. Third one, looking all way. And it's denied by Aqua. What a recovery, though, to make something of that by Hoxer.
I thought he'd thrown it away. I really did. Then he managed to get that second touch, then stay behind it on the air dribble. The save away going into the top corner as well. So close to it being a terrifying second chance for XSET to attack on.
Aqua, low boost, might look for the reset instead, leaves it for his teammate. 2 minutes left here. Rogue sitting pretty comfortably on this 2-goal lead. They've been up against a bit of pressure, but nothing too bad on these breakaway opportunities. They're getting so much work done. Wall bounces not being dealt with overly comfortably by XSET. In field. This time Taroko is there. That's the problem, Stumpy. When you don't get those first few infields working out with goals, it's more and more difficult to get stuff because they've got to look for something else this time around. And Percy on the goal line just had to make contact. What a setup by Hoxer.
Hoxer faking the dish here as well. Up above, just being a little bit cheeky. Gyro has to respect it, has to go up. Instead, Percy can come in and tap it in on the goal line. Really nice play there from XSET. Also, with Hoxer on that entire play, getting it past every defender. Awesome stuff. Now only 1 goal separating the 2 teams.
Aqua with a bit of time as well. J-Pal backing down. Hoxer involved in all of the goals that we've seen, for better or for worse. Now needs to be involved in 1 more. Set up his team. Get them back into this game. Aqua powers the ball to the other side of the field. He's got nobody to aim for instead. Gets the challenge. Now Hoxer does well with the follow-up. Rogue with the ball exactly where they want to see it. Percy with time. It's slow on the play, but it's now set up. Can he get a good challenge from Gyro, who just looks at the ball for as long as possible, does not want to engage in the challenge. Probably the right decision to make, but as we've gone through this game, Stumpy, we're seeing more of XSET.
Yeah, they're starting to actually work into that blue half, which I'm excited about, but equally they've not had too many chances. Rogue doing a good job in shutting them down before they can really evolve into anything particularly scary. But J-Pow on that double dunk has to leave it. In the end, Percy shoots it off J-Pow's wheels and he's credited with the goal.
Fantastic comms, and this is what XSET needed. Off a poor start from them, they've got the second goal. Stumpy, they can get this done before overtime's even done because momentum is fully in their favor.
Yeah, managed to wrestle it back after Rogue was, I think, quite casually strolling towards a win, finally getting some pressure on the other side. Hawks are now a chance to go up for one. Can he jump off the ceiling to get the second? No, and Gyro, he had to back the miss to come in, otherwise he wasn't there to save.
Rogue need to switch up the way they're getting rid of this ball. It is just booming clear, but it's dropping in a playable position for the XSET players under no pressure. This has been a little bit better from Gyro. If you are going to get those clears, it has to... Wait, is that actually on target? That is on target. Aqua scrambles back. Final 10 seconds. Infield pass as well. Gyro off the backboard. Has he got the second? Oh! Of course he does. Brace for Gyro. And that could take it for Rogue.
This is what Rogue did so well yesterday, and Gyro making a name for himself when it's Taroko's time to shine. 4 seconds left. Great lead from Rogue. They have to keep it safe here, though, as XSET want to slow the play down and just keep control.
If you ever wanted to know what it's like to be a Rogue fan, you've got it all in 5 minutes. Start off brilliantly, almost threw it away, but a little bit of brilliance is all it took to take home the win. Stumpy, an awful lot to unpack here in the opening 5 minutes. Where do you want to start? Do we start with the good or the bad?
Let's start with the fact that Rogue, even though they did start winning this game, I wasn't particularly impressed with them. Maybe it's more the fact that XSET were just giving them goals. You know, there was that weird missed jump from Hoxer. There was then the outplay ultimately from Gyro on the right-hand side, and he does get the double tap. I think that was more to do with XSET not playing well to start with, them ramping up, rather than Rogue really coming in and attacking hard. They just took advantage of the situations that fell to them.
Yeah, and I will stand by exactly what I said. I think Rogue are playing solid, but this clear game needs to be better. If they're going to get rid of that ball, put it in a position that the defender is going to struggle with, because you're just handing away air dribbles to a team that love to air dribble. They'll take that every day. You're giving them their favorite meal on a play every single time. Hey, do you want some of that? Of course they're going to take it. Of course they're going to make opportunities themselves. I want to see some dribbles from Rogue. I want to see them take up the wall. I want to see them put the ball off the backboard or somewhere more difficult for the defender to get to. If they can do that, then XSET's opportunities to break should be a lot more limited. As for XSET, they need more of this from Hoxer. Sets himself up. Can't get any further than that. Aqua, very lucky to see that ball going into him. Otherwise, that could put his team under a bit of pressure. Now off the setup, J-Pow. Hold up here. Over into the corner. Nobody on the far side, though. Hoxer decides to take the shot. And Gyro will just grab hold of the ball.
Yeah, not a bad idea at all.
That's not the best touch ever.
Again, though, it's an awkward... not an awkward hit, it's just a bad miss. It goes in the corner, bounces where Percy can read it much better than Gyro, slams it in the top corner. Within 30, XSET go ahead the first time in this series. Again, the goal is afforded by an error. This time, though, just switching who has made that error.
It needs to be cleaner. Reminder once again that these are teams that are trying to chase up to that spot currently owned by Oxygen, get into that top 5, represent North America over at the Winter Major. At the moment, both these teams will fancy their chances from what they've seen from the other. Turn around from Taroko. Hoxer.
Oh, God.
He doesn't like that backboard being comfortable, does he?
God, not at all. Going for what would have been the easiest hit in the world. That's how you do it. Aqua just getting an air dribble and then can carry on.
There we go. What a goal.
But Hoxer yet again misses and it leaves Gyro open. Aqua, an awesome transition down the pitch. 50s it with one onto the backboard, then Gyro can tap it in. Hoxer missing it again, but Aqua showing up when he needs to. Really, really good movement from them. Rogue on that counter-attack actually being threatening.
I think from the back... Oh, Okay, that's not going to go in. I can already hear the screams of joy in my ears. Okay, I've heard enough of this to understand. I think of all of the backboard plays that we've seen, that's maybe the one that I'd give Hoxer the most leeway on. The only problem is that it's another one. Yeah. If that was maybe the first, I wouldn't mind quite so much.
If that was the first, I really wouldn't have even mentioned that Hoxer had made an error there because Aqua had outplayed them entirely. I think it's the fact that when it becomes symptomatic, you lose the sympathy on thinking, you know what, maybe it was just that one error. A good bump in the back, though, has opened it up for XSET.
Oh, he's got him again. Gyro. I don't know how much he knew about it, but narrowly avoided Calamity. Almost got wiped out by the oncoming challenge. You'd see more of that, though, from XSET. Rogue are employing a somewhat static defense at times. They are available for demos. Booming clear yet again. Gyro off the backboard. Going to show how it's done. Just passes it straight out, and Aqua's given up on this. And Hoxer has misread the bounce again. What is going on?
Has he got his monitor set to the wrong refresh rate? This man's living a second in the past.
I'm just going to allow him to say that one was called off.
Okay, that is a huge call from you there. That's so generous.
All right.
That's so generous. But he gets that one. That's all that matters. It does go straight to Gyro, though. Percy has to save. I think what I've seen so far is, like we said, errors have opened up the net, but it is ultimately on the opposite team, to then take advantage of it and get the goals. If Hox are making these mistakes and then they're not being punished for it, then fine. That's not too much of an issue in my head.
Here's one of the more difficult bits is Aqua off the double tap. Taroko just had a bit of hesitation before he dove in. Maybe arrived to the play a teeny bit early. Aqua able to take back over. Gyro. Oh, he can recover that off the ceiling, off the backboard. By Taroko. Wasn't there last time. This one, he makes sure of it.
Gyro round the world with a slight tap on it there. Leaves J-Pow looking completely unprepared for what was coming. Taroko, great tap in to read that J-Pow was missing. Rogue, yet again with the lead.
It's one of those horrible ones where the change on the trajectory of the ball was so minor that it just means that your positioning's off. You can't do like a major adaptation. You can't turn the car. You're just in the wrong spot as of now. Aqua off the backboard. Great play from him. Buys his team some time, and it's time that they need with the low boost that they've got in field. Oh, what a bump, Percy! Get rid of the keeper, 2 each.
Percy being a dentist and knocking the Gyro tooth out of the goal mouth. Hoxer being able to tap it in on a fully open net. What an equalizer.
That was rude.
That was rude.
No way of putting it. That was very, very rude. I've not seen anybody counter the in and out save that way. Just
no.
Really,
I love that. I love that.
Here, I've got you. Swipe you out of here.
Thing is, you know exactly where they're going. It's one of those plays where typically, if you're also in the net, you will have bumped them on the floor. To catch him on his way out, you know what his path is going to be to save the goal. You just have to be there instead. That was a really nice play from XSET.
That was one of those plays that we get a few of these where you see it and just go, why is this not more prevalent? How is this one of the first times I'm seeing this?
I know, XSET, mate.
You kind of know where they're going. I think the only difficult bit is like knowing where the trajectory of the ball is, because that'll be over the top of you. As Percy actually off the infield. That's 3-2. And XSET offensively have opened up.
Yeah, Percy has definitely found his Shangri-La here on Forbidden Temple as he gets it in on the open net. Great pass in from Hoxer as well. It's just working around those back lines to then get the easy chances. If 50 goes your way, then it's happy days. A minute remaining and XSET with the lead.
Oh, but Taroko with time. He's got the boost, goes as high as he can, stealing reset as well. The difficult part of that is just keeping the ball with you. You can't afford a heavy touch. Gyro. Let's see who would get there first. It's back over to Aqua. It's just feed the ball to Aqua as much as you can over on Rogue. It's been working off the backboards. J-Pow is up to the task. And now it's Rogue. 40 seconds left. They need to hold this ball. They need to get it away from Hoxer, who might turn it in. Oh, what a play, Hoxer! We have been treating some unreal goals.
Just faking it past Taroko, getting one flick onto then that crossbar and pinching it down. Great play, too clear. XSET looking to take this second match.
Well, I think a goal like that is more than enough for us to forgive some of the backboard shenanigans that we've seen. Nearly. Brace for Hoxer, a brace for Percy. J-Pow kind of just has been a bit of a spectator. What a game to spectate. 4-2, and unless Rogue can get something going, this, then they might be in a bad spot, but it is Gyro, and Gyro is so deadly at the moment. Off the back, but now for Aqua. He passes out Gyro! That would have been sensational.
Completely muted. Gyro had no power on that ball when Aqua set him for it perfectly. That has certainly lost Rogue the game. Hopefully it won't be a conference knocker. But Aqua, when you're feeding a ball to your teammate who's basically on the goal line and you just say, hit it forward, lol, and they don't, hopefully Aqua doesn't get too tilted by that. But I know that I'd be doing that big comms.
I think that's all we got to say to it. Like, I mean, maybe it was a bit behind him. It's one of those ones that can be difficult to generate power on. But for XSET, this is exactly what they needed. And I think it was the best possible performance in the second half of that game, Stumpy, for the player that needed that big performance, because Hoxa stepped up. And as much as we were talking about him negatively in the first half, it felt really good to then move all of that into positives in the second.
Yeah, I mean, Hoxa, I feel like when you get a couple of bad issues on your end, when you're missing those bat ball clears or there's an awkward bounce, you suddenly think, God, should I then be sitting back more? Do I really need to pump these into my head of, okay, this is how you read the bat ball. This is how you read those awkward corners. Hoxa has done the opposite of that, and I respect him tremendously for it. He's gone, no.
Somebody else's problem is this. I'm going to go the other side of the field, lads.
I'm not ever dealing with the backboard again. I'm going to score some awesome goals. Did so, and he secured XSET the lead. It's now 1-1 in the series.
I believe that was the Marky Doodah strategy. Leave it to someone else. I'll be down the other side of the field. Here's Hoxa. Oh, is that just it? That is just in. That is one of the cheekiest goals we've seen all series.
Who was that who attached a bulldozer to the front of their car on XSET? J-Pal just getting 1-2, and then Taroko, I think, having to try and get anything he could on that ball. Wasn't able to. Squoze in, just slicing the goal.
You know what? Sometimes Rocket League just cannot be very fair to you, because after all of that play, J-Pal stood on 0 points. It's just not very fair on occasion, is it?
I mean, everyone is on single digits apart from Hoxton.
Oh, here we go. There's some points for him.
Demos should give you points. That's all I'm saying.
That's going to create a meta that I'm not ready for.
Oh, the demo meta that's never existed before. You're right.
Oh, of course not. I want to see them for bumps as well. You get extra for bumping a teammate.
I do not want to live in your world.
There, you'd finally be top of the scoreboard, mate. As we see, Percy off the backboard needs to play it. Aqua actually might be waiting for a teammate to move on in. That's very awkward from everybody. Gyro's going to have an extra opportunity to play this. As Rogue settling down into this side of the field. The situation looking okay for now for XSET. They do need to get rid of this soon. Hoxa takes over. Oh, off the bump! And XSET have found a new rhythm.
You fancied XSET for these dribbles, and Hoxa is showing you exactly why. Great first touch, then faking out, being gently body checked by J-Pal. Aqua couldn't do too much. That's just such nice movement, weaving either side of the ball, bamboozling the Rogue defender. The second goal for XSET, and both of them going on Hoxa's scorecard.
Yeah, this is an entirely new player at this point. Hoxa just passes it over to the far side. Percy can't take over, but he does steal 100 boost. Might see that come into play later on. As for now, Aqua. Well, he can go on the chase quite often, but even that one was just beyond him. Gyro Taroko, however, he goes for it. Too far above him as well. The ideas have been good from Rogue, but the passing plays just asking too much of the follow-up player. Now off the backboard, Hoxa not going to be given another opportunity.
God, vital that Taroko clears that. He just didn't have to absolutely send it the opposite side. J-Pal made that look much more awkward than it actually was, but does get the clear. Aqua fancying just one chain dash. I guess he's put a dash on the wall then. And Gyro rockets it in, goes from Hoxa onto the post, and is returned to sender on the rebound.
Rogue finding so much success with this back in game 1. They're back to it here in game 3. Off the infield, Gyro leashes it towards that top corner. 2-1. And Rogue right back in it. In a very, very crucial game here. J-Pow, he's got time. He's going to be up against Aqua, not the player you want to be meeting midair. I think you would have preferred to see any other name. Taroko just puts the ball to the other side of the field. Both teams need to be wary here because they are giving each other a lot of space in the midfield. That's been a constant throughout this series, Stumpy. It's just been who can make the better play out of it. Hoxer. Oh, he might have caught Taroko out off the backboard. Follow up. Had no power. It didn't need it because the goalkeeper was wrong-footed.
That clear again, though, from Rogue, going into such a scoreable position. We warned him earlier, and Hoxer, he has put the red stamp on that goal. Percy is able to secure it, though. It's just those clears from Rogue need to be so much better. You can't just loft it high in the midfield, because if you're leaving it empty, then you have to assume that XSET will match it.
I really like what Rogue have done when they go, clearing the ball wide into the middle. It's when they are clearing from the middle and they still go to the middle. There's no one there. There's no play you can make unless you are anticipating one of the most unreal redirects. Oh, J-Pow's looking to secure this game. And it looks like XSET have hit another gear.
That's one that you just give a go and you see how well you can strike it. That is a nice shot from J-Pow. It's just, he swipes it across with the top of his card to get the speed, and the fact that nobody from Rogue is back expecting him to come from the blind spot. This is XSET now, who are looking like they found the form that they had yesterday in groups.
It looks like the XSET that we've kind of been waiting for the longest time. And so long last season predicting XSET to get a big upset win, maybe go make a long run in a tournament, and it just felt like they always had good performances, but could never quite see it through. Could very well be into a very similar position here. 4-1, Taroko leaves it for Aqua off the backboard. Unreal. How on earth can you be that smooth?
Aqua was slamming these in yesterday as well, where he gets that 50 challenge, manages to then secure it on the backboard and gently taps it right above the defender. That's just sublime placement. Aqua, the new kid on the block, where he is showing up big.
And that puts this game right back into the hands of Rogue, who need just one more goal. And then they can try and see where they can take this game. Hoxer, that was very difficult. Well played by Aqua just to make sure that there was clean contact on the ball. And once again, Rogue need to do everything they can. Avoid the demo plays, avoid the bumps, and avoid handing away a goal that easily.
I mean, Percy can just hit that at the net, and apparently it's a goal somehow. The double commit from Taroko and Aqua. I think Gyro assumed that because two teammates went, he thought, well, two's better than one. I guess I'll grab some boost. And then both of his teammates mess up.
I don't know. That's not the bit I'm on about. Is he was already on the way back. He'd just seen the mistake, and then he turned. And then he turned again to the position that he was actually supposed to be going to. I actually think he could have made that.
Well, it's 5 anyway for XSET. It would have been 4 regardless. I wouldn't pick. That's not exactly
Stumpy.
That's not a clutch goal. It's not a Daniel 0 seconder. It's just the 5th one for XSET, as they are looking better to make it 6. Why not? Why not, J-Pow? Continue being a beast.
Are they just XSET are determined to have nobody get a hat trick? Hoxer has been sitting on 2 for the longest time, and everyone else is now caught up. Who's it going to be, Stumpy? Which one of these 3 is going to get the hat trick?
I'm going to be that guy and say, frustratingly, none of them. It's going to end with 6
I reckon J-Pow. I've fully got it on J-Pow. Go on, J-Pow.
You can't shout, come on, J-Pow, mid-series. That's not allowed. I reckon we'll see an Aqua hat trick, even though he's only got 1 goal. Go on. No, wait, don't go on. Never mind, there's 10 seconds. I don't care. It's fine. No. Either way, look, it's the second game here for XSET. 1 more, and they put themselves into a pretty decent position. They're just knocking Rogue away from being able to continue up the rungs of the ladder, where only one of these teams realistically will be able to battle for the top 5 versus G2, versus Oxygen, and ultimately versus Rogue in those positions too.
Yeah, and for either of these teams, whichever one wins will also be hoping that Envy can take down Oxygen, because Envy only on 220 points coming into today. Oxygen with their 350 means that maybe for one of the rarest times when it comes to trying to get one of the top spots, teams are pulling for Envy to actually win rather than dropping points. But we'll see. I mean, XSET look comfortable right now. As for Rogue, you can kind of understand the game falling apart in the last few moments. I mean, there were some very silly goals in there, but they do tend to happen when you're already aware that, right, game's gone. Problem for me right now, Stumpy, is how easy these opportunities have been coming. It feels like get past one player and you've now got a real shot on goal. There's not a second player that you've really had to deal with, and especially for XSET, even if there is a second player there for Rogue, typically that player is being bumped, usually by J-Pow.
I mean, it's the fact that that second player isn't even present that really irks me, because you see how well Rogue do when they have the ball in a double tap position. Toroko and Aqua specifically, they do such a good job of double tapping and really outplaying the defense on the other side. But as soon as it's in defense, they just throw everything at every play, and not even in a very controlled way. It's frustrating, because if they master the basics and they just really take it down to the bare bones essentials and just get to the chassis of this entire game, I think Rogue really could take it. And XSET, they're outplaying every now and then, but they're just ultimately playing to the weaknesses of Rogue, and that's all they need to do. At least make them sweat, Rogue. Come on.
I believe a good way to describe it is panicked defense despite 300 boost. You know, you've got everything you need there. You are kind of treating it as if it's your last possible opportunity. Just over a minute played. Both these teams looking for the chances, and this is turning to be a little... I'm starting to feel this is personal, some of these demos. As Gyro's not going to make that shot. Sneaks into the bottom corner.
I think it does actually pinch a touch off Gyro.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, from Aqua, sorry. Yeah, so it went up, down, then back onto J-Pow shooting. And that's the thing, what gave it the extra speed. Gyro isn't then able to get there. A lot more awkward than I think the shot that Gyro previously failed to save. So a lot more excuses are able to be made there. But still, it's just another goal that has happened out of seemingly nowhere that XSET can take advantage of. Aqua finally turning it around and showing that brilliance on the other side.
So Rogue are going to continue with their amazing trait of conceding 4 out of 10 goals and scoring at least a 7.
That was a nice musty as well, going underneath one and then getting the musty.
Like quality versus quantity sort of matchup that we're getting.
Yeah, and if I was, playing in a competitive game of Rocket League, I definitely want more goals. So maybe Rogue should be focusing on that.
Oh,
there we go, Toroko.
Any advice?
That's what we want. Score more goals.
It really is that easy on occasion, is it? Percy just getting himself... I mean, we saw earlier on how having those balls bounce off the wall and coming back into the middle of the field can be so deadly. That one, he was under pressure. Felt like he needed to take it away from the oncoming challenge. Challenge never came in. It's forcing the mistakes. Rogue, a little bit of a stave-off play working out for them. We haven't really seen XSET under pressure. They've not been in a position where they've been allowed to make mistakes. But we also know that they have struggled. That was just your life flash before your eyes for just a short moment. As Aqua looks for the outplay. This is where Rogue really need to start settling in against kind of what XSET have been known for in these situations. Force them under pressure, get them making mistakes, let them know that they are only a game away from a big result, and they might start to crack.
Yeah, and I think that when you can really make that descent in the ranks, then XSET may well fall apart. So far, I've not seen many signs of it. I think that XSET are just much stronger in this matchup so far, especially considering the last game being a 6-2. Rogue, though, continuing this lead and holding it on just now past half-time, it's looking decent for them. I just really want to make sure that they are continuing to hold on to these basics, not throwing 2 men at one ball, just bits like that.
Hoxer off the backboards. This time comfortable. No need to start worrying about that all over again. Now over to the wall. Hoxer in pursuit, looks for a shot. Aqua decided to just get the slightest touch into his own corner. Another shot on target. Double commit there from Rogue, but both players recovering comfortably enough. Usual, we don't usually mind those sort of double commits. The ones where the recovery is already in a good route. Hoxer called into action. What a play this is. Follows it off the backboard. That's what you want to see from him.
I love that. Keeping the possession. It was quite floaty to begin with, which did worry me, but then he just stays behind it, gets a really nice strong 50. Really well played from Hoxer. Just not booming the ball away. They've seen how well they do with ground plays. And the 1-2 only just snuffed out by Toroko.
Taroko, bravest person on the pitch, did not move, turned his car around and just planted it there, waited for the ball to come over. Now just over a minute left. They might need more of that from Rogue. XSET about to go on the hunt. Gyro's actually snuck behind the back lines. Didn't really have the boost to find a demo or a way to disrupt. Hoxer, first touch took it away from him. He's recovered it underneath. One demo as well. Hoxer, he couldn't get there. The floor ruined the recovery. They look to continue playing disruption. It will not happen. Rogue seem to have recovered. Now off the backboard one more time. Off the backboard, there it is. Infield to nobody. And that's the chance gone.
There was so many chances there as well. I thought Hoxer had it absolutely nailed on, but isn't able to secure it. But the attack continues. Hoxer with 60 onto the backboard. Can he get the double? No, cleared away by Aqua. I thought Gyro
had 20
there.
boosts.
Yeah.
That would have been it. Champions Field could be 20 seconds away. Aqua takes his time. J-Pow actually did not take the bait. He stayed patient. He's got options. Percy not going to have the cleanable touches. Gyro couldn't get there in time, but Taroko crucially moves the ball away from Hoxer. It is going to require coast-to-coast gameplay if we want to see this taken to overtime. Instead, Rogue have got this at 2 each.
That turnaround from Rogue to hold this now into a Game 5 is something that I quite frankly didn't expect. I thought they, and I'm being polite here, were an absolute shambles that previous game. They didn't look like they were a cohesive team, and in moments in this, they didn't look like it either. Gyro actually managed to secure, a couple of good plays in there, but Aqua was the man who I was really looking at and thinking, wow, he has really found his stride. He didn't do anything really flashy. He didn't try and hit clips. He just did everything that he needed to make his teammates much more comfortable. And I really, really do respect that.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we needed to see from them as well. They just looked like they had settled down in a position of a lot of pressure. Let's be completely honest. That is a position that we have seen them make multiple mistakes and instead more than capable of taking this over to Champions Field. Brought to you by NASCAR. Let's get into this. Huge implications for this game, depending on who can now chase after that top 5 spot. A reminder, Oxygen and Envy after this match. But for now, it is all or nothing. One of these teams is getting eliminated.
There's so much on the line, and I love it that these teams are fighting for their own destiny. It's brilliant to see them earning those points to climb up that ladder, but both of them reaching for the same rung at the moment.
Now, both teams, both orgs that feel like the nearly men of North American Rocket League. One of them is going to maintain that title. The other one will have an opportunity to change that. Hoxer takes over, well, temporarily. Gyro having none of that. I would assume Rogue have got a little bit sick of the demo plays, but they've got to deal with some more of them. XSET, very physical with how they've taken about these last 2 games.
A couple of times already in this game, I know it's only been 50 seconds, Gyro has already just given away possession, I think 3 times, which is frustrating to see. Rogue did well when they were holding it closer. Both teams were. Good demos as well coming out from XSET, really trying to make sure that 2 players are easier to play against than 3, so may as well keep it that way as much as they possibly can. Aqua, will he be able to really cement his name on Champions Field?
Taroko decided to do the switchback for a moment. Easier to go to the other side. Instead, wanted to dummy the oncoming attacking players. Minute and a half done. Another bump. J-Pow sets up. Hoxer, double tap and Gyro. Well done from him to maintain the discipline. Sat in the goal and didn't drift, and that can be so difficult to just maintain that focus, Stumpy, to make sure that you are in the right position.
The absolute stoicism and being able to trust your instincts of, yes, I am where I need to be. Body, don't you dare move those thumbs. Taroko doing the same thing, just waiting for the ball to drop. Now a 2v1. Can he air dribble it? 50 it in. Around 1 and not the second crossbar, keeping it out.
Aqua could see the next round right in front of him, but it got snatched away. J-Pow on the other side of the field. You can always see just one orange car, even if the ball is in their own final third, just looking over in that blue side of the field for another hit, another demo, another bump. Even a boost steal will do them good enough. Percy is the target man. Just did not have any boost. Nobody on XSET has any boost. Finally, they've managed to start recharging. And they'll look to charge forwards. Percy. And back down for now as goes over to Gyro. It's intercepted and Aqua can't get there.
Millimeters away from saving it, but Hoxer taking the intuition. It's the fact that Aqua cleared it away from Gyro, who had the ball. Hoxer waiting. He poaches it. Aqua cannot make up for his mistakes. Hoxer, we doubted him early, but he has been the key man for XSET.
Gyro and Rogue, they'll be none too pleased with how this has gone down, especially with the way that goal went in. Will that be the difference maker? Aqua off the flip reset, but that backboard is not the free goal zone that it was at the start of this series. These plays not being given straight over to Rogue. Instead, they might have to look back against those infield passes. Those have not been covered by XSET. Aqua fakes and then gets demoed for it. No chance to slow down. J-Pow is going to take all the time he wants. In fact, even leaves it for Percy. See XSET now starting to play for the clock off the backboard. Here's Gyro. 2 players committed. And there was enough cars behind that ball to make sure a shot wasn't on target.
In the end, I thought that was really going to come down to a goal, but J-Pow extinguishing one player and extinguishes that offense with it. Really good movement from him, but I say that, Rogue, they're straight back on it. Gyro air dribbling it with 90 seconds left between them and elimination. They are fighting.
Not the best first touch from Aqua. That's going to invite players on, but XSET holding off. Will that be a mistake? You've given Aqua this much time and space, almost made them pay. I feel like that's something that'll be encouraging, though, to Rogue, knowing they're going to get these chances. Gyro against Hoxer. Again, up to the task. Percy, infield, missed.
Hoxer, key man again, with Percy and J-Pow linking offensively. Nearly all she wrote. Percy getting bumped in net. Taroko to shoot, but Percy to save. Can't quite get there. Taroko equalizer.
That would have been one of the most heroic defensive displays we've ever seen. Percy so close. Couldn't find the contact. And Rogue back into this game. One each. And this can go either way. Both teams have shown brilliance. Both teams have shown weakness. What is it going to be that is the difference maker? What is going to decide who heads through to losers round 3?
It was tantalizingly close. I think we were all pulling for Percy to make it. But the clear in the corner from Gyro leads to Hoxer. Now Percy, can he tap it in? Aqua, in and out save, 30 seconds left.
And Aqua had to stutter it halfway through the in and out save because he was going a bit too quick. Miss off the wall. Gyro calls in Taroko for support. Percy up the wall. Realizes the defense is quite close to him. Hooks in, and Taroko once again.
Final 10 as now Gyro with a big clear. Percy again with the heroics. Sends it floating. Percy to Hoxer. Intercepted by a defender, though, with J-Pow getting it central. Taroko's backball clear has to be perfect. It's pretty good. Percy with boost, with 30, with the double tap, and Gyro saving it away.
Percy will be the most frustrated player on the field. So close to being heroic. Oh, Taroko caught him one more time. And we do go over to overtime. But Percy almost finds the save, almost finds the goal, but almost simply has not been good enough. One goal separates a team from elimination. We'll find out which one's Taroko stays with it. Might even get an opportunity to set up from here. Off the backboard. Aqua gets the bump. Gyro off the post. Will he regret that one?
I think he already is. He could have shot that to the opposite corner, and that was largely open. 25 seconds in, we've already had a chance, and that could have been Rogue going through.
Off the back, Taroko staying as active as he can. There are some players that want to rise to the occasion. Taroko certainly has been that. He is all over the place. J-Pow outplays Gyro. Taroko off the wall. He does have Gyro in support, who's got plenty of boost. Wanted to fake out Percy, who had eyes merely on the ball. Aqua off the backboard, not the strongest of clears. But XSET have not been that active. Ever since they took that 1-goal lead earlier on, Stumpy, they've been waiting for the game to come to them, and it's causing nervy situations like that.
It's now Rogue really trying to push as hard as they can on that XSET side of the pitch. As Aqua gets bumped away from it. It's a long shot from Hoxer. Taroko with not much boost relies on Gyro on the backboard to clear it away instead. Aqua can get a miraculous double. No, goes to the ground. Percy to clear again. Percy has looked on fire on Champions Field.
Percy now called in. Difficult play. Gyro generates no power. Might have even hit his teammate, even if he did get the shot off. Very difficult play for everybody on the field. Minute and 40 into this overtime. Demo, can you see through the smoke screen? Percy got a bit panicky as he emerged. But still, Zero Boost has maintained relevance to the play. Oxa turns. Can he get the block? Everybody stays away! Off the post. There goes J-Pal from the backboard. Does Percy want to commit? No, he does not realize he was the last player back. Could have been disastrous if he went in and couldn't find contact.
I think that could have been good if Hoxa had boost. The fact that he had nothing meant that he then couldn't bump Gyro out of the way. If he did, Percy is, I'm certain, flying for that ball. But J-Power onto another attack, fakes out high, instead goes low. Aqua's 17 boost has to continue staying low though. Gyro chance to shoot instead, maintains possession to the corner, something I've wanted to see since game 1. And it's Rogue on this offense.
Rogue just not setting anybody up in a typical third-man position to just run onto a shot. Had a couple of occasions where that backboard's been open. Toroko sets. Oh, what a goal! And Rogue have survived! They will move through to the next round.
XSET eliminated. Great play from Toroko. Utterly unchallenged by every single player on XSET. Gives him more time and space than anybody could have imagined. That is Rogue going through in this playoffs bracket. They're going to be so elated with that. That also gives them 30 more points. That is huge. If it goes the way in the upper part of the lower bracket with MV and Oxygen, that sets them in a great position to catch G2.
Yeah, right now it is all about making the run. Get as many of these results in your back pocket as possible. Get as many of those points in your back pocket and hope that you can send yourself through to the Winter Major. But for now, if this is the first step of many, this was a very, very tiring step for Rogue. As for XSET, it's just unfortunately the same old story. They were so close to a big statement-making result, and it did not go their way. But for Rogue, they want to have keen eyes on our next match, and I hope you guys will at home, because when we come back from break, it is Envy versus Oxygen.